Morning friends, happy Wednesday. How the heck you doing? I forgot to wish Meghan Sussex a very happy birthday yesterday. What an absolute fan fail. Anyway, it appears that Harry made up for my lack of thought because this video on Meghan's Instagram channel is off the scale, filled with love, joy and compassion. And if you've watched it, hats off to you. And internationally, this video will top the charts for a long time because people love to be drawn into Meghan and Harry's lifestyle, to see what goes on behind the scenes, but more importantly, to see how real they are as people. And it was absolutely great. Brand new t-shirt is giving Mrs. Little tiara. Even the dogs got in on the joy with little paper hats. Harry obviously made sure she was showered with balloons, and it looks like he's cameraman and executive chef for the morning because the stove was on and he was clearly making her breakfast. Tanned, relaxed, moisturised, happy, escaping the drama. This is a big two-fingered salute to all the haters. Love it.
Oh dear.
Don't mind me, I was just doing my hair when I saw Meghan's video, and this shirt that she's wearing, like, what? Oh my goodness, so freaking cute. Naturally, I was like, I gotta find out, where's this shirt from? Here's a better look. So cute! And I found it. I'm going to link it in the comment if you're interested. I found it. I feel like I need it. Yeah, because this shirt is giving. Like, what? So stinking cute. Oh my gosh. And it's super affordable. That is one of the reasons why I love her style. It's because she wears high-end, low-end, but this shirt is so freaking cute.
Morning everyone. So Meghan shared snaps yesterday of herself jumping into a pool in her home in Montecito with balloons as she celebrated her 45th birthday with a splash. So obviously Meghan turned 45 yesterday, and she took to her Instagram account and posted 2 black and white photos of herself plunging into a pool wearing a black swimsuit and oversized sunglasses, and she was holding onto a cluster of birthday balloons which were floating above her before lunging forward into the pool. And Meghan thanked her social media fans and followers for the birthday love. She wasn't doing it for the press or the media. She was just saying a warm, welcoming thank you to all her fans and supporters that have stuck by her through all the troubling and hard times that she's had in the past. And both photos were black and white, and the swimsuit that Meghan was wearing was obviously the same swimsuit that she posted the photo on her Instagram account when they went to Portugal on the beach. And Meghan looked carefree, joyful. She just looked like she was living her life to the max, absolutely loving her life. And this is what happiness looks like. This is joyful, genuine happiness. Just jumping carefree into the air, just beaming. And as someone said once, it's not contrived, it's not forced, it's real. And with Meghan, as I said before, her photos speak volumes, and they really do capture that moment, and it just says so much of how much her life, she's thriving, she's flying, she's happy. And Meghan's on cloud 9, whereas the royal family members are living in hell. They don't have this life. What did Harry say? My father and my brother, they're trapped. They don't get to leave. Now, obviously, Charles and William denied it and said rubbish. But if I was them and I saw this photo today, I'd think, oh my goodness, Meghan's really living the life that we all want ourselves. And they hate it. And that's why they're jealous of her. They despise that Harry and Meghan escaped for a life of normality and freedom. And this photo just says it, basically. I'm happy in Montecito. What more? What more could Meghan say with this photo? But the royals don't want to see a photo of Meghan like this. Remember, they want Meghan to curl up into a ball and get all depressed again, want her mental health to come back really bad. They want her in a really dark, sad place again. But I'm afraid that's not going to happen. Meghan is absolutely amazing. She's just so strong and she's got so much willpower, and she's such a huge influencer for young girls and women who feel the same as Meghan did once, that she's happy and she's got her 2 children and her husband, and what more could you ask for? But Meghan also knows, remember, how to take a good photo. It's a very quirky, playful photo. It's really fun. It's really uplifting. I mean, when I saw it, I thought, what a lovely photo. It was just so down to earth and so normal and relatable. And that's what Meghan's like. You can relate to her. She makes everyone else feel a part of her Instagram posts. But I tell you what, now, if this had been Kate, it would have been photoshopped to hell. They'd have had to have manoeuvred the image, moved her legs, moved her arms, lifted her up. Everything that Kate does in a photo is always doctored and manipulated with. And as we all know, the Mother's Day photo that Kate did, they had to kill it because it was so heavily photoshopped. There was over like 18 mishaps in it, and they just said, like, we can't use it. It's so manipulated. And yeah, 45. She doesn't look 45. She looks absolutely incredible. I'd say she looks a good 28 there. Her legs are to die for. She just doesn't look like she's had 2 children. She's just got one of those bodies that just never ages. But the legs, the pins, her look, everything. What more can I say, really? Meghan, she's hard to beat. She's too good.
What a day, Scotties. One thing that keeps cracking me up is how people act shocked every single time Meghan looks happy. Seriously, what did they expect? Every time she drops a video of herself dancing, cooking, laughing, or just living life, social media reacts like somebody just spotted a unicorn riding a bicycle. Wait, she's smiling again? Yes, she is. And somehow that's still breaking people's brains. Think about it. For years, we were fed the same story over and over. She's miserable. She's falling apart. She's isolated. She's about to come crawling back. Every week, there was a brand new disaster supposedly waiting around the corner. Yet every time Meghan pops up, she's doing the complete opposite. She's smiling. She's relaxed. She's having fun. At some point, you've got to ask yourself, who's really getting the story wrong here? Regular people understand this better than anyone. We've all had that one person praying for our downfall. You know the type. They're refreshing your Facebook hoping you've posted a sad quote. They're waiting for your relationship to end. They're expecting you to lose your job. Then you upload one happy photo and suddenly they're confused. Hold on, I thought you were struggling. That's exactly the energy this whole thing gives. And here's the funny part. Meghan doesn't even have to make a speech. She doesn't have to clap back. She doesn't need a 30-minute interview explaining herself. She just posts herself enjoying her birthday, dancing around with balloons, and somehow that causes a full-blown investigation. Folks are zooming in like they're FBI agents. What does the balloon mean? It means it's her birthday, that's it. Not every balloon is part of an international mystery. Sometimes a balloon is just a balloon. What really catches people off guard is how comfortable she looks. She doesn't look like somebody carrying the weight of everybody else's opinions. She looks like someone who finally stopped letting strangers rent space in her head for free. That's something a lot of us can relate to. Life gets lighter when you stop trying to convince people who already made up their minds. And let's be honest, happiness annoys people who are betting against you. Nothing frustrates a hater more than seeing you laugh. They can deal with an argument. They can deal with drama. But seeing you genuinely enjoy your life? Oh, that one stings. That's why every cheerful Meghan clip sends people into detective mode. They're looking for cracks that just aren't there. That's probably why these moments connect with so many people. They're simple. They're real. No giant production, no long explanation, just someone enjoying another year of life. Most of us don't need perfection. We just want peace. We want to laugh with the people we love and celebrate without somebody turning every little moment into a conspiracy theory. So every time Meghan shows up smiling, the surprise says more about the expectations people had than it does about her. They expected someone defeated. Instead, they keep seeing someone moving forward, living her life, and refusing to let old headlines decide her future. And honestly, that's got to be one of the funniest plot twists of them all. You know what's funny? Some people are still waiting for Meghan to have that "I made the biggest mistake of my life" moment. They've been waiting for years. Every birthday, every interview, every public appearance, they're sitting there like, this is the one, she's finally going to look miserable. Then boom, there she is again, smiling, dancing, laughing, living her life like somebody who actually enjoys waking up in the morning. You can almost hear the disappointment. For the longest time, people kept selling the same story. She'll regret leaving, she'll miss royal life, she won't survive outside the palace, give it 6 months. Well, 6 months came and went, then another 6, then another. Now we're years down the road and she's still out here celebrating birthdays, launching projects, showing up for events, and looking like she's got plenty to smile about. That has to be driving some folks absolutely nuts. Because let's be real, we've all met people who wanted us to fail. The ones who said, you'll be back. The ones who thought you couldn't make it without that old job, that old relationship, or that old circle. Then you move on, build something better, and suddenly they're acting like your happiness is suspicious. What are they so happy about? Everything. Peace will do that to a person. That's why so many regular people connect with moments like this. You don't need to be famous to understand it. Sometimes leaving the place that made you unhappy is the best thing you can do for yourself. It doesn't mean life becomes perfect overnight. It just means you finally get room to breathe. And that's exactly what Meghan looks like these days. Comfortable, relaxed, like she's no longer trying to fit inside somebody else's idea of who she should be. You notice something else too. She doesn't spend every week trying to convince people she's happy. That's the difference. Truly happy people aren't walking around yelling, look at me, I'm winning. They're too busy living. They're making memories. They're laughing with family. They're celebrating birthdays instead of arguing with strangers online. Now compare that with the predictions. People expected bitterness. They expected endless complaints. They expected someone stuck in the past. Instead, they keep getting birthday dances, family moments, new projects, and a woman who looks like she's focused on tomorrow instead of yesterday. That's got to be one of the biggest plot twists in this whole story. And can we talk about how some people still refuse to accept what they're seeing with their own eyes? It's almost like they're watching a different movie. Meghan could be laughing from start to finish, and somebody will still say, yeah, but she looks unhappy. Come on now. At some point, you've got to trust your own eyes instead of somebody else's headline. The biggest flex isn't making a speech to prove people wrong. It isn't posting long messages aimed at critics. It's waking up every day, enjoying your life, and refusing to let people who don't like you control your mood. That's a lesson everybody can use. Because nothing confuses your critics more than seeing you at peace. Not pretending, not forcing it, just genuinely enjoying your life while they're still waiting for the breakdown that never comes. And honestly, that's a pretty good way to celebrate another birthday.
One thing I've noticed lately, Meghan doesn't look like somebody trying to impress anybody anymore. She just looks comfortable. And believe it or not, that's exactly what catches people's attention. Watch that birthday video again. She's dancing around, laughing, having fun. No stiff poses, no serious face, no standing there like she's waiting for someone to tell her where to put her hands. It's just Meghan being Meghan, and people are eating it up. Why? Because regular folks can spot when somebody's forcing it. We all can. We've been to those family gatherings where everybody smiles for one photo, then the second the camera goes down, they're arguing over who forgot to bring the soda. We know the difference between a picture for the album and somebody who's actually having a good time. That's why these little clips land differently. They're messy in the best way. They're not trying to be museum pieces. They're just life. And honestly, that's what makes them fun to watch. Remember how everything used to feel so serious? Every appearance had to be perfect. Every smile got analyzed. Every wave became breaking news. It felt like people were grading facial expressions with a microscope. Now, she's dancing around in a birthday shirt with balloons like somebody's cool cousin at the family barbecue. That's a whole different vibe. And I think people connect with that because nobody wakes up wanting to be perfect every single day. Most of us are just trying to get through life without burning the toast. We laugh at ourselves, we dance when our favorite song comes on, we wear comfortable clothes. That's real life. That's probably why so many people say Meghan seems more like herself now. She's not acting like she's reading from an invisible script. She's just living. And here's something that makes me laugh. The louder some people insist she's pretending, the more natural she actually comes across. It's like watching somebody argue that water isn't wet when you're standing in the rain. Come on now. If somebody can dance around with balloons, laugh their head off, and look completely at ease, maybe, just maybe, They're actually enjoying themselves. Crazy idea, I know. The truth is, people don't always remember the most polished moment. They remember the one that feels human. The little laugh that wasn't planned, the goofy dance move, the moment where somebody forgets the camera is even there. Those are the moments that stick. That's why this birthday clip got people talking. It didn't feel like a performance. It felt like something your friend would post after a fun afternoon. Famous or not, that's something everybody understands. At the end of the day, nobody wants to spend their whole life looking like they're posing for an official portrait. People want room to breathe, room to laugh, room to be a little goofy without somebody handing out scores. And that's exactly the energy Meghan is giving right now. Not, look how perfect I am. Just, I'm having a good time. Funny enough, that simple message seems to be the one that surprises people the most. You know what I've realized? Meghan doesn't even have to argue with anybody anymore. She doesn't have to post a 10-page statement. She doesn't have to jump into every headline. She just keeps living her life. And somehow that's the part that gets people talking the most. Think about all the predictions we've heard over the years. She's coming back. She'll regret leaving. She'll disappear. She'll never be happy. They won't make it. Whew, the prediction business has been working overtime. But here's the problem. Real life refused to follow the script. Instead of disappearing, she's launching new projects. Instead of looking defeated, she's celebrating birthdays. Instead of looking like someone trapped in the past, she looks like somebody who's already turned the page and started the next chapter. That's gotta be frustrating if you've spent years waiting for the big collapse. And let's keep it real. We've all seen this happen outside the royal world. Somebody leaves a toxic job, a bad relationship, or a group of friends that never appreciated them. The people left behind keep saying, just wait, they'll be back. Then months go by. Nothing. Years go by. Still nothing. Next thing you know, the same person they wrote off is smiling in vacation pictures, chasing new opportunities and looking lighter than ever. Meanwhile, the people who said they'd fail are still giving updates nobody asked for. That's life. And that's why so many people connect with Meghan's story. It's bigger than royalty. It's about moving on without asking permission. It's about refusing to let other people decide how your future is supposed to look. Here's the funny part. Even the people who swear they don't care still seem to know every single thing she's doing. How does that work? I don't pay attention to Meghan. 5 seconds later, did you see her birthday video? Wait a minute, I thought you weren't watching. The truth is, people stay tuned because the ending they were promised never showed up. They were told one story, but every new photo, every new appearance, every happy little moment tells a different one. And that's why these birthday clips matter more than people think. Not because of the balloons, not because of the dancing, not because of the shirt. It's because happiness has a funny way of ruining somebody else's prediction. You can't keep telling people someone is falling apart while they're out there laughing with family, building new things, and looking completely at peace. Sooner or later, folks start asking the obvious question. Hold on, were we sold the wrong story? That's a fair question. At the end of the day, the loudest response isn't always a speech. Sometimes it's just waking up, enjoying your life, and refusing to let yesterday chase you into tomorrow. Meghan isn't trying to win every argument. She's doing something much smarter. She's living. And every time she smiles, dances, celebrates, or simply enjoys another moment, the old predictions lose a little more steam. Honestly, that's probably why people can't stop watching. Not because the story ended the way they expected, but because it didn't. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and join the family because you do not want to miss what's coming next. To all my amazing returning viewers and the squaddies, you guys are the real MVPs. I appreciate every single one of you. Until next time, keep smiling, keep shining, and don't let anybody steal your joy. The haters are refreshing the page, so let's give them something else to talk about. I am your host, Miles. Take care, God bless, and I'll catch you all in the next one.